everyone. My name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern with Village Core. For other events like this, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our website or check out our YouTube channel to see other videos like this and other events in case you miss them. Today, we'll be talking about a very useful tool that one can incorporate into everyday life in order to keep track of meetings, different kinds of dinner plans, different kinds of events, anything like that. And that useful tool is Google Calendar. You see, Google Calendar is actually a very useful resource because it actually comes with a ton of different Google kind of like applications that you are able to use and access whatever you want simply by using your own Google account. So me personally, I have my own Google Calendar where I keep track of everything that I'm doing throughout the day. So as we can see here, I have Google Calendar pulled up in front of me where I can see my day-to-day on how exactly I do things and when I do those things. It'll also send me a notification. The cool thing about Google Calendar is it expands across all devices, not just on your computer, not just on your phone, but every single device that can link to the internet and that can link to Google will have Google Calendar on there for you and will show you exactly what you put on your Google Calendar so that you can stay up to date with everything that you're doing that day. So the cool thing about Google Calendar is you can actually preview the days that you want to look at. So if I just want to look at today, say the upcoming events that I have today, I can clearly see the events that are today. So today, right now, I currently have this meeting, so it is titled in there as work. I also have homework and college apps to write, so I have that scheduled in for 5 to 7:45 p.m. And then usually after that, I have tennis practice, which I go to from around 8:15 to 9:45. And then after that, I have a little bit of downtime before I go to sleep, and then I go to sleep. And then the cycle repeats itself on how I create it. So I wake up in the morning, I go to school, I rest for a little bit when I get home, then I start homework, then I work, then I have college, then I start cooking dinner, then I have tennis again, and then I have that downtime again. Now, in order to customize your Google Calendar, there are many different ways to do it. Over here, we see a create button, which I can zoom in on and highlight for you guys in order to see clearly. We have a create button here that will allow me to create a different kind of calendar or a different kind of task or schedule an appointment. So let's say I have an upcoming event and I now have this window where I can type in that event. Recently, I just got a message about an upcoming breakfast that I have with some family friends. So I can type that in. I can type in breakfast with friends into the bar where it'll notify me exactly what I have. So for this, I can also choose the date and the time that this is happening. So I can simply click on the actual day that it's showing, and I can customize it to the way that I want it. So this breakfast is taking place on Saturday the 28th. And it's happening at 10 a.m., which I can customize that in order to fit that into my schedule. So it's happening from 10 a.m. and I don't know how long it'll take, so I'll just say it'll last until 2:30. I can either make this an all-day event or I could choose a different time zone that it'll be in. I can also choose how many times it repeats itself or whether or not I don't want it to repeat itself. I can also customize it depending on how often I want it to happen. I can choose either weekdays, weekends, or I can repeat it at a custom amount of time that I want it to. Also, I can also add guests to it. So other people who might have Google Calendar, I can link into my own Google Calendar and invite them to join this meeting that I have. So say you have a meeting with a coworker at work, and you guys are having a meeting over Zoom, just like this meeting is happening currently. With Google Calendar, you can link that Zoom meeting or that Google Meet into the actual into the actual day that you're planning, so that you and that person can go both go to your Google Calendar and join the event from there. So I can add guests, I can add a Google Meet video conference. I can also add a location. So this breakfast is taking place at the Four Seasons, and we can just say it's happening. Let's just say it's happening at the Four Seasons in Dubai. Now, of course, it isn't, but just for the sake of this meeting, we're just going to say it's happening at the Four Seasons Resort in Dubai, or Four Seasons Resort Dubai. And we can also add a description. So the description here can allow us to type in exactly what it is, who will be there, and the different types of things that'll be there. We can also add an attachment. Say I were to have the menu of the restaurant that we are going to. I can attach that menu once I download it, and I can make sure that others who are joining me in this breakfast can actually see the menu as well as I can. This is a really useful resource in order for people to stay connected and to stay on top of things. You can connect videos, you can connect different kind of schedules, different kind of documents, anything like that through through Google Calendar. You can also set the priority of this event. So say this event might be really important. You might want to mark it as red so that you know that this is an important event. You can also pick if the event is busy or if it is free. So say you're just relaxing and you don't have really much to do. You can say that you are currently free during that event and you can switch it over to be a free event. Or you can switch it over to be busy because you're busy during that event. So I'll be busy during that event. So notify other people who are linked to my Google Calendar that I am busy during that event. We can also change the different kind of visibility. So the default visibility simply means that you can see it and that people who you invite can also see the event. If you want to post it public, you can also post it public. This might be good for, say, a major event that you're hosting with a ton of people, and you want to make sure that the general public knows about this event that is happening. You can make it public, and I'll post to everybody who you invite or anybody who sees you on Google Calendar. You can also make it a private event. So only those who you send the link to or those who you add can see it, or just yourself can see it. You can also change the different times it reminds you. You can notify up to 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 15, 30, an hour before, a day before, or you can customize it to notify you whenever possible. Also, these notifications can go into either two categories. These notifications on Google Calendar can go into the category of either a notification through Google Calendar, or it can go through an email that is sent directly to your Google email that you have currently, and it'll notify you of the event that is currently happening. So we can get it up to the minutes, or we can get it up to the days, the weeks, the hours, different kinds of things like that. Or we can also add a notification so it can keep reminding us, hey, that event is coming up if it's important, like this breakfast is. We can also jump into a few more options that we have here. It basically makes it bigger, and it basically has everything here listed for you where you can find the time and you can modify the event and other things like that. And in order to simply save it, you click save, and now is in your Google Calendar. Now, whenever you're checking throughout your week, you can scroll through and you can see the different types of days. But say it might cause you a little bit too much pain to go through every single day to try to look at the different meetings and different events that you have during your day. Well, you can quite literally get a simple week overview of what is happening throughout your day. So, as you can see here, on October 9th, we're looking at the week of October 8th through the 14th, and we can clearly get a clear view of what is happening throughout that week. So Google Calendar will notify you about different types of holidays, as well as the different types of events that you have. So throughout my week, I have school basically all day. I also have different types of rests. I have my homework, I have my work, I have homework in college apps, I have my different types of cooking schedules, I have my pickleball practice, my tennis practice, and also my downtime throughout my week. I can also, if I don't want to see it from a week view, I can change it to a month view. So I can scroll through the month and see exactly what's happening throughout that month and what is coming up in later months. On top of that, we also have different types of years that we can look at. So we can look at an overview of an entire year in order to plan out every single thing that we might need to and simply jump around easily. We can also see it from a schedule view. So we can see this from a schedule view of everything that's happening in January of 2024. Currently, it is a little bit messed up on my end because I haven't fixed this yet, but basically it is showing me a schedule of what I will be doing every single day of January in 2024. So if we go back here to October, we can see that this red bar here is going throughout the day and is basically indicating what I've already done and what is coming up soon. We can also take a look at a 4-day view if you want to look at a 4-day view of what's coming up. Also, with these different types of events, you are able to customize them to actually repeat on certain days. So as I mentioned before, the events that you're seeing on my Google Calendar happen during the week. All these events happen during my week because typically I'm not working on the weekends, and typically I don't have school on the weekends either. Some things may still stay the same, like my tennis practice still happens on the weekends, and my downtime still happens on the weekends. But typically, none of this other stuff up here happens on weekends or anything like that. So here we can jump in and take a look at how I specified exactly what days I want this to fall on and the timing of all of it. So I can customize these different things, and I can also set an end date. So this end date will basically say to the computer, hey, this stops here. So you can allow it to never end, or you can specify what day that you want it to end, or after what day you want it to end, or after how many times you want it to end. So if I were to switch it to after, we could set it to something like 13 occurrences. So 13 times this event will play out until it reaches that 13th time. Then that'll be the last time that it ever happens, and that event will simply end completely, and it will no longer show up on your calendar. This is a really useful tool that you can use with different kinds of different types of companies, different types of people, different everything. It is really useful for everything. And we can also create a different kind of schedule, different kind of appointment schedule. So say you have appointments with people that's really important. So say you are starting an event and you want to have a one-on-one with people from that event. You can schedule them into different times that allow them to actually join that time of when you want to meet with them. And then from there, you can link your Google Calendar to them, and they will be able to see the schedule of when exactly they need to meet with you. So these are really useful tools that Google Calendar allows and that Google Calendar has. You can also add different types of calendars. So I can create an entirely new calendar. So let's say I want to make this calendar for work. I can type in work, I can type in a description, and I can also specify what time zone I'm in, and I can see the owner, which is myself. So when I hit create calendar, it'll go through and it'll take a minute, but it'll also create that calendar for me to allow me to have the opportunity to have a new calendar. So it is currently taking a minute, and work has successfully been created. So I can go here and I can look at the calendar settings, how it's set up. I can also look at the auto accept invitations. I can make it public, or I can get a shareable link if I want to share it with different people. I can add event notifications, all day notifications. I can add different types of events. And I can also customize it in different ways. So it's really easy to look at and it's really easy to use if you are considering everything that is happening. So I know for me personally, having a calendar in front of me is something that is really important. I don't really like writing it down in a physical calendar. I like being able to see it on a computer. So that might be something for you. And also, Google Calendar extends into the Google Calendar app on your phone. So say you don't have your calendar with you. You can simply pull out your phone and look at the exact same thing that I'm looking at currently on my computer. It'll tell me all the events that I have, all the different types of tasks that I have, and everything that I have to do for that day going through. We can also kind of change these types of settings. We can also print out the calendar if I really want to. So say you are one of those people who likes to have a physical calendar right there in front of you, where you can write notes down, or you can cross things out, or different types of stuff like that. You can print out this calendar and you can specify up to when you want it to be printed out to. So say I want my calendar printed out till, let's say, August 8th of 2024. Well, here we can see the total amount of pages that will be printed in order to make that calendar happen. And here it says that 63 pages will be printed of that calendar that I specified. I can also view it by the day, I can view it by the week, or it'll set into the automatic mode, which will basically choose one of those for you. We can also change we can also change the different types of font size, where we can have the smallest font, we can have a smaller font, or we can go to a way bigger font that allows to see everything. And here on the side, it has a note tab where we can list all the notes from whatever we're doing on there. So we can either generate it as a portrait calendar or a landscape calendar if we are looking to print it. We can also print it in full color, where it'll show everything in full color, or we can print it in black and white if we don't have enough ink to print it in color. We can also show the events that are declined. So if you're somebody who forgot that you declined an event and you see it on your calendar, you can see that declined event and you don't have to go to that anymore. So for Google Calendar, that's about it. There are plenty of other Google apps that you can use, but this all links seamlessly to either work, an event, or just to use personally across all devices that you may have. Google Calendar is a really simple tool to use, and it's a really great way of keeping track of what's happening on a day-to-day basis. Other than that, I don't really have much more about Google Calendar. So once again, my name is Brandon Faulkner. I'm an intern for Village Core. So for other events, be sure to check out villagecore.org or check out our YouTube channel, where these events are posted every single day, so you don't miss one. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.